Today, we're talking big jumps, big thrills, and big monkey, all in a portable handheld. It's Donkey Kong from the Nintendo GameBoy.
Groovy! Whoa!
I hope she made lots of spaghetti.
Hello everyone, welcome to the first inaugural episode of Video Game Club. We're your hosts, Joe, Eric, Ryan, and Jacob Vanderlosky. Yes, we're all brothers. If you'd like to learn more about us, our video game history, our likes and dislikes, go check out our episode 0 out now. Just a quick overview of what the podcast is. It's basically just a book club, which book club is where a group of people choose a book to read together and then discuss it, but it's going to be for video games. So we're going to choose a game, play through it, we're going to try and complete them, and then sit down and talk about them. Today we're talking about Donkey Kong for the Nintendo Game Boy, but before we get to that, we're going to do a quick little section I'd like to call Word of the Nerd, where we just kind of talk about other nerdy things we're into, because we're all into a bunch of different stuff, comic books, video games, TV shows, weird chip flavors. We definitely like chips. So we'll just go ahead and do that now. What kind of stuff are you guys into right now? Eric, I know you were reading the mangas. You're getting the mangas lately.
Yeah, I've been reading Initial D. Unfortunately, they're not releasing those too often right now. So I've been picking up
right?
Berserk. Yeah. So I've been reading Berserk now and enjoying that a lot. And then
yeah, I watched the anime for Initial D. I liked it. It was pretty good.
Yeah. I was hoping to read all of them before I watched the anime, so...
Yeah.
Because I don't know how far the anime goes into the mangas. I finished Cowboy Bebop.
Nice.
I just started watching Death Note now, so...
Yeah, Death Note's pretty good.
Which is also pretty enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
That's about what I've been doing lately.
Yeah. Ryan, I seen you were playing that Tiny Tina game. You still playing that?
Yeah, a little bit. It's actually a really great game. It's like for those who don't know, it's Borderlands. It's like a spin-off, but it's D&D influenced. So those two match together. It's pretty cool concept. A lot of content, a lot of character building, all that type of stuff. So trying to 100%.
Yeah, I like the way the like map stuff worked and everything. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah. Most of it's pretty interactive too, so pretty cool concept.
Yeah, pretty cool. Jacob, what are you into? Any nerdy stuff?
Yeah, I'm in decently nerdy stuff. I mean, I love video games. I mean, I know that's what this podcast is all about. I know you guys were talking about manga earlier. I've been watching Dragon Ball and then Dragon Ball Z. That's really
a big undertaking.
that. Oh yeah, I know. I'm at like episode 131 right now, and there's still like over 100, and then I still want to watch like Dragon Ball Super. I don't know how much that has.
I don't know.
But I know you mentioned earlier that you talk about like weird chip flavors and stuff. I love Mountain Dew and all of its flavors and stuff like that. I tried a bunch of them, and I'm in a Discord server called the Dude Drinker Discord, and they post about whenever the new flavors are coming out and stuff like that.
Yeah, nice. So. I know, I got some chip flavors we gotta try. They have cheese pizza Cheetos now.
Yeah, I saw those.
Yeah, nice.
That's pretty cool.
I know, I haven't tried them yet. And then I gotta get you guys those Big Bite chips. The hot dog ones.
Oh yeah, gotta have that hump dog.
That sounds good.
Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and get into our game, which is Donkey Kong for the Nintendo Game Boy. All right, Donkey Kong was developed by Nintendo R&D number 4. It's pretty big names attached to that. You know, Shigeru Miyamoto, Yuichi Kotabe, Takaya Imamura. If you don't know who those people are, go look them up. I'm sure there's a game they made that you guys love out there. And it was co-developed with PAX Softnica. They're not as big name, but they did work on some pretty big Famicom and Famicom Disk System games. And they also helped assist on the development with the Mother series. It was published by Nintendo for the Nintendo GameBoy in 1994. And this game is actually kind of a renaissance for Donkey Kong. Kind of weirdly enough, there was a time when Donkey Kong wasn't really around. It's kind of weird to think of a world without Donkey Kong, but the last game he was in was in 1985. It was Donkey Kong Junior Math. That was 9 years ago. And then this game came out.
Yeah, almost 10 years without Donkey
It's
Kong.
weird, right? Like he was so big in 83 and then he just kind of disappeared. And then this game came out, and then not a few scant months later, a little game came, Donkey Kong Country came out. So it was a pretty big year for Donkey Kong.
I wonder why that was. They made 3 games in 1 year, Donkey Kong. After
I don't know. Hey, just
9 years?
I guess they all just kind of wanted to use the character at the same time. Who knows?
yeah, I guess so.
Well, there's a funny little thing about that too, because the Donkey Kong in this game is not the Donkey Kong Country, but we'll get to that later. All right, so were you guys able to complete this game?
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, this game was a lot easier than I remember it being.
For sure. I remember, I don't think I could even beat this when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did a couple times, but it took me a while.
Yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm older now. It just seemed a lot easier, for
And
sure.
it's not too long of a game either.
No.
No, I mean, I think for a Game Boy game, it's pretty good.
Yeah, for handheld game, it's definitely pretty good length.
Yeah.
Besides, World 8 seemed to take a long time.
Yeah, World 8 is definitely still a challenge for sure.
There is some levels I had to take a double look on, because even I got confused on some of them, but
Yeah, there's a few levels that are brain ticklers for sure.
Yeah, a little trickier, but most of them you can figure out pretty easily.
All right, Ryan, you want to read the synopsis for the game?
for those who don't know, we're going to get into Donkey Kong 94 if you've never played it. It's a puzzle platformer where you play as Mario. He chases down Donkey Kong as he's kidnapped Pauline, and he makes his way through multiple worlds. Each world is themed, such as airplane, ship, jungle, etc., and split into multiple levels. Each level is a self-contained screen where you must find a key and carry it to the locked door to proceed. Of course, this won't be easy as there are enemies and obstacles in the way. There are also occasionally boss levels where you must fight Donkey Kong and throw barrels at him to ultimately win.
All right, yeah, so this game is kind of it feels like a successor to Mario Brothers 2, weirdly, because you can't jump on enemies to kill them. You jump on them and then you can pick them up and throw them.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is that the only other game where you do that?
I mean, I'm sure there are other games, but I mean, being a Mario game, it's the only Mario game that I know of.
Well, that's
Yeah,
what I mean.
yeah. I kind of like, though, how there was the use of the enemies to get through the levels. Like, sometimes you had to, use the frog to jump up higher.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or ride those
Yeah.
ladybugs or whatever they were. Yeah.
I kind of wish they did a little bit more with that, though.
Yeah, that was only like a few levels.
Yeah, there was like the...
Most of the time they just seemed like they
in the
were
way.
really just
Yeah.
more in the way.
Yeah, they're more just obstacles than anything. I think it would have been cooler if they had used them more to finish the puzzles and complete the levels.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to find the key, right? And then pick it up and then carry it to the locked door to proceed. And if you can throw the key, you can use it to kill enemies, and then if you let it sit too long, it'll go back to its original position. In some of the puzzles, it's kind of required to throw the key and then get to it quick enough, you know.
There's that one level, man, where
Yeah.
you really have to
With the 3 ladders.
push that time
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my god. The timing on that one is very
Yeah,
tight.
that one got me. That one's rough.
Yeah.
Especially if you try to get all the Pauline items too.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah, I
tough.
remember that one from childhood for sure.
Yeah.
The jungle is where things start definitely amping up on difficulty.
Yeah.
And then from there on,
It keeps a pretty steady difficulty
Yeah.
from there.
where you kind of like keep layering what you were doing,
Right, yeah.
like the
Building upon
ladder.
itself.
Now you have the platform and the ladder.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, so they kind of like layer everything up, and putting it all together, sometimes it gets a little
Yeah, yeah.
difficult.
Yep, it does.
Yeah, once you get used to the abilities, the backflip and the handstands, and even the cables that you can spin on and fly yourself up on, it's pretty easy from there. But once you master those, that's it. That's why those cutscenes
Yep.
are so cool, because they show you what you can do and all that stuff. Pretty cool,
Yeah.
informational kind of thing, but also looking pretty awesome at the same time.
Oh, also, if you sit on the home screen long enough, it'll show you like an animation, a little
Right.
cutscene of how Mario is able to do
His acrobatics.
jumps and his acrobatics and stuff. So I thought that was pretty cool too. There's also like levers that you turn on platforms, or either turn them on or off.
Yeah,
or
it definitely
change the direction of the platforms that move up or down.
Yeah, there's a lot of like interactive things too, other than just the enemies.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, you can like create platforms and ladders with those buttons.
That mechanism is actually very impressive to me for Game Boy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's almost like a precursor to like a Mario Maker.
Yeah, yeah. Where you can put like the springs down and that one little black square or anywhere on the screen that you can see. It's actually pretty cool, yeah.
Definitely impressive for an pretty
yeah.
early.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the parts about this game that I thought was interesting, or that kind of helps with the immersion, I guess you could say, is that whenever you use like one of those tile power ups, they create like a little piece of ground that you can stand on, or do the ladders that you can climb up and down, is that it'll play that little tune once you place it down, and it goes do-do-do-do-do-do, and then it goes faster and faster. It kind of stresses you out, tells you, hey, you gotta speed up. I mean, I kind of like that aspect, because it, makes you gotta be fast. You gotta think of ways to be, rapid and get there, get it done.
Right. And it's a cool way to add a timer without actually putting a time up on the screen, It's a smart design choice. What else is impressive is actually the physics in this game. I noticed like when Mario is by himself, or when he's holding the key, he has like a different weight. Like
Definitely. Yeah.
Like in some of the ice levels, there's like little icebergs, and when you're just Mario on it, it doesn't sink. But when you're holding the key, it actually sinks down, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was like there was a frog level too, where the frogs jump like at a normal height when you're on them, but when you turn into Mini Mario, they actually jump higher, which was pretty cool.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some cool physics in the game too.
Yeah, yeah. The movement's actually pretty smooth for a Game Boy game. It
is.
wasn't
It's
clunky,
pretty smooth.
like, and doing like the backflips and the handstands and everything is actually pretty smooth. It's not irritating.
Yeah, Mario
or
feels.
annoying.
I mean, it feels like Mario.
Yeah.
He feels a little floaty in this
Yeah.
game to me.
Again, it's more like a Mario Bros. 2
Yep.
kind of feel.
Yeah, definitely. So that I had a couple issues with that, where precision jumps mattered in a couple levels. but
Especially those ones like the
it's
winds and stuff, the wind levels.
yeah, it's not hard to master.
No. And the thing too is the levels are only so big. So there's 2 boss fights. The first one is you just kind of get through the level as Donkey Kong is like stomping on the ground and things are falling at you. And what's cool is you could, if you did a handstand, you could actually stop some of that stuff from knocking you out.
Yeah.
And then the other one was you actually had to pick up barrels and throw them at Donkey Kong.
Yeah. Which in later levels you have to actually do the handstand and stop the barrel.
So you have to do it together, which is it's actually pretty smart, yeah. Oh, I like the inclusion of Donkey Kong Jr. in there. He's in your way, he's messing with you. I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah, he's pulling the levers to change the belt's directions and everything,
He's like sitting there laughing at you.
Yeah. Jumping around. Yeah, it is pretty funny. Yeah, that goes with the other funny animations. I love when Donkey can't fit his big butt through the door.
He like wiggles through.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
Or if you fall too far, Mario kind of like hurts his leg and it twitches.
Yeah, there's a lot of like cartoon things in there.
It's pretty
this game definitely has like a cartoonish feel to it for sure.
I definitely enjoy the little cutscenes in between each levels there after every 4 levels. Just kind of like a nice little reward for beating a boss.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Definitely.
Because it's not just a cutscene too. It kind of helps you. It kind of teaches you the game too. Some of them, which was pretty cool,
and progresses the play through a little bit better.
Yeah. That was cool. Nice little addition. What was cool too is if you notice the map locations of the stages, they actually like correlate to the level design too.
Yeah, I was just looking at that before. It's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, it shows some cool deep thought into the design of everything in there.
Yeah, they just didn't throw a bunch of squares on the screen. They actually designed it.
Yeah, I mean, it's Nintendo. They're going to do that, but it's still cool to notice.
Doesn't mean they had to.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of the maps, do you think the fact that like the first map that you go to, it's like in the big city, you think that might be a reference to like, how Donkey Kong's based off King Kong?
Oh yeah, certainly. Since he climbs the tower at the end, right?
Right.
Oh yeah. I never even thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And is that where they got Big City and what is that, Odyssey?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Donk City, or I forgot what it's called.
Yeah, New Donk City.
Because Pauline's the mayor of that city.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk graphics. I mean, it's a Game Boy game, but it's not gonna be perfect. But I think it still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Like all the sprites are pretty easy to tell what you're looking at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I never had any challenges guessing what I'm trying to do or anything. The only thing is figuring out what Paulina's items are sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's a hat, a necklace, and a purse.
And a purse, yeah. The purse is kind of odd looking.
Yeah, a little bit. The necklace is a little weird too because it's like on a display, like a necklace display thing. At least I think that's what it is.
I thought it was a hat, an umbrella, and a purse.
Oh, is that supposed to be an umbrella?
I think it's an umbrella.
I played this. Well, I used what's it called? This game this is one of the Game Boy games that has the Super Game Boy.
Yep.
Technology. I forgot what it's called. But if you play it on the SNES, you get like more colors and stuff like that, and that's like what I played it on.
Yeah.
So it was kind of easier to see that.
Yep. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's kind of weird because the maps have like a ton of color, and then when you play it doesn't. It's got like 2 or 3 colors.
Yeah.
It's got like shades.
I did not play the enhanced version, so they also have different sound bites because I was watching a video on somebody else playing.
Yeah.
And she actually like screams help.
Yep.
So
well, weirdly enough, I was playing
that on the Game Boy version.
On the Game Boy Advance emulator. I didn't know the Game Boy Advance did Super Game Boy backgrounds.
I did not know.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
It's not a breathtaking game or anything like that. Just simple Nintendo graphics.
It's an original Game Boy game, yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to tell what you're looking at. I mean, that's a kind of an accomplishment on those old Game Boy games.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just this smaller stuff's harder to tell, but that's anything on older games.
Yeah. Let's talk sound. I mean, there's not too much of sound on this one.
No, but that starting intro, man. Oh, it's so good.
I know we were humming it
So
for
good.
like weeks.
Yeah, it got stuck in my head.
It's so catchy.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a good like start to a game.
Yeah.
Just
I mean, the music's not bad.
It's funny.
It's pretty good.
no,
It's short.
yeah.
Is the only thing. It kind of loops quick, but it's it's snappy music.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's enjoyable.
Mhm. It's got those beats that'll like kind of worm their way into your head, and you're like humming it without realizing it later.
Definitely catchy.
Yeah,
For sure.
and then that final boss music, that level 9-1 or whatever, that one goes pretty hard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it actually
That song was pretty good.
sets the tone for a boss fight. Yeah.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Nintendo's always made good soundtracks, man.
Oh yeah,
Especially opening
Yeah.
ones, it seems
yeah,
like.
yeah, yeah. Friggin'
They pull you into the game.
Super Mario Kart, anybody?
Yeah.
Oh my god. That song.
That song's awesome. Yeah, but I mean the sound effects were pretty good too. Mario's jump sounds good. Each jump had like a different sound too, like for the triple jump and backflip and all that.
Yeah. It's whether you can tell, like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And I like when you grab the monkey's tail and he starts screeching.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is funny.
That was pretty funny.
I hated Donkey Kong's noise in that game though.
It would whatever it is.
Sorry, Donkey Kong Jr. His
Oh yeah,
laugh.
when he's like I said, when he's
Yes.
laughing at you. Yeah. It's
It
annoying,
is.
but I think it's supposed to be.
I think it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to make you mad.
Yeah, that's why he's like a troll character. It's pretty funny.
Yeah. He doesn't do anything like directly to you, but he'll annoy
Right.
you. He'll make it hard to
Yeah.
beat that level.
It's kind of funny. I like too the addition when you start the levels. It has like the original arcade music in it.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
really nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice little touch they added there. Oh, I meant to look this up. I wonder if this game, because one of the cool things this game had was you could save it. So, you could save your progress through the levels, which was pretty cool for a handheld game.
Only up until the beginning of the first
Right. You had to beat the.
four
Fourth
levels.
It was after every like boss fight.
'cause
Yeah.
I think every
Yeah.
fourth level you fight Donkey Kong.
I wonder if this game had sleep mode like the Game & Watch games had, where you could put it in sleep mode. Probably not.
I don't think so.
Because I remember like in Game & Watch, you could pause the game and turn the Game Boy off, and then when you turned it back on, it would start up again right where you were, which is pretty cool for a handheld.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Especially
Yeah.
early on.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, I don't know if this one had that or not.
It's cool you can go in when you pause the game and you can go into your records and see how fast you beat the level.
Yeah, it's like kind of like a time trial mode.
Yeah, you can and it gave you your total at the end of each 4.
Yeah, that was cool. Yep. Okay. A couple other things I just wanted to mention for the game. There's actually a lot of firsts in this game. This is the first time that Donkey Kong has ever had his iconic red tie. He had never had that before. This is the first Super Game Boy Enhanced game, which is pretty cool. And then I think this is kind of the first time that Mario was as acrobatic as he was, because before he could just kind of jump, but in this one he does so many different moves that would later be seen in like Super Mario 64, which is like 2 years later.
Yeah.
Yeah, this definitely seems where he got that acrobatic training from.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, he learned it here. And then one of the things I just kind of talk about because I think it's funny is kind of the lore. So the original Donkey Kong was the arcade Donkey Kong. That's this Donkey Kong in this game. But when Donkey Kong Country came out, the Donkey Kong in that game, and we say Donkey Kong a lot, the Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong Country is a different Donkey Kong. I think he's supposed to be the grandson of the original arcade Donkey Kong. And then in the Donkey Kong Country, he's known as Cranky Kong. So the Cranky Kong in DKC is this Donkey Kong.
Okay, I didn't know that. Huh.
Yeah. I think because when Rare took over, they kind of redesigned him, and they didn't want to. I guess they kind of wanted to differentiate him a little bit, but they still wanted to, keep that legacy there. So they made him like the grandson of the original, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. I'm sure not a lot of people know that.
If I'm not mistaken, the Donkey Kong Country intro starts with Cranky Kong like winding up the gramophone, and then but he's standing on the stage of 100M, I think it is, from the original arcade game. So there's that drawback there.
And then DK comes in and just slams his
Yep, he's got his hit music going.
Yeah.
He's doing his dances.
his big stereo. All right, before we get to the final review here, let's go over the achievements. So, for anyone who doesn't know, there's this cool community called Retro Achievements, and basically just make achievements for old retro games. So if you're into that, go check them out. It's really cool. There's thousands of games, I think, on there now. It's pretty cool. You just have to download RetroArch, and then you can log in from there and just start earning achievements. So the achievements for this game, let's go over those. What do you guys think? Difficult, hard, easy?
Not too bad considering most retro achievement chivos. So
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't too difficult.
Yeah, I think these are pretty
I was
forgiving compared to the other games that
Mhm.
we've played
Yeah.
and mastered.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
And the number wasn't too crazy either. Some of them have way too many achievements.
Yeah. So I generally don't like speedrun achievements, but these were pretty forgiving. So
Yeah, they weren't too bad. And then, the levels are so quick. If you mess up, it doesn't take that much longer to get through them again.
no.
the hardest
So,
ones for
it
the speedrun
seems-
is the first 4 levels. Funny enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For whatever
Yeah.
reason, and then
Yeah.
it gets pretty forgiving after that. But
And the last ones were way easy.
Yeah. I wonder if
I don't know what happened.
the guy who made these achievements was really good at the arcade game.
and not this game itself.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but they're pretty straightforward achievements. I mean, collecting all Pauline's items, and then
Mhm.
just beating the levels, beating the game.
Yeah, it's pretty much just play the game good.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
there's really not much to the game in that aspect. So
Mm-mm.
the achievements are pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Yep. There's one for beating the last, what is it, 5?
World
8
9,
levels?
Yeah, without dying.
World 9 without dying, and it can be a little difficult.
Yeah. It took me a couple hours, I
That's
think.
basically the hardest one. But not bad.
Yep. All right, and then did you guys master it? Which mastering basically just means you got all the achievements. It's like getting a platinum on the Sony.
Yes, I did.
I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, you haven't done
Not
it yet? Are you gonna
Oh,
try?
yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
The only
Yeah, it's
I
not
only
too
got
bad.
the speed runs. I'm not more than halfway done with that, and I got to do level 9, the world 9, not dying, and that's it.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I finished it as well. Jacob, did you master it or?
I didn't do this at all, so
Oh, okay. But yeah, it shouldn't be too hard, Ryan.
no, yeah,
You probably get it done in a couple of days.
it's not a game I'm gonna rip my hair over. It's not Pinbot.
No. Yeah, freaking pinball.
Ugh.
Some of the
Yeah.
Metroids.
Crash Bash.
Yeah, don't even get me started on Crash Bash. Good old PlayStation emulator doesn't like to save saves,
Yup.
so
Gotta use a memory
I
card,
have
bro.
20-something% on that, and that's all. That's how it's gonna stay.
Mm-hmm. Maybe 10 years
Maybe.
from now when we play it for the
Yeah,
podcast.
maybe. Maybe I'll forget about it. Want to go back and play it,
Yeah.
but not anytime soon. Pinbot, I will never play that game again. That has
Yeah.
to be.
I can't
That's
get
probably
those.
going to be the best accomplishment I've ever had in my life.
That's the thing with like some of these achievements. Like once you're done with them, you just never want to play
Yeah, I
the
know.
game
Oh
again.
yeah, dude, I have the same thing with the trophies
And we
the
used to play
PlayStation.
Pinbot
So-
all the time when we were younger. All the time.
Yeah.
Used to
Yeah.
love that game.
Played a lot.
But if you're trying to go for achievements, oh man. I mean, that game's hard just to begin with. If you're trying to actually progress and get into the deep part of the game, it's hard.
Yeah. Oh, it
Yeah.
is
But
definitely.
when
Yeah.
you
Well, just whatever. That's a different game for a different time.
yeah.
We'll get to that some other
Well,
time.
I was gonna say the achievements for this didn't make me not want to play
Yeah,
this game
I
ever
would
again. So
absolutely play this game
they're not
again.
that bad.
Such a
Yep. I probably will be
Yeah.
for the channel.
yeah,
So
Yeah.
such a good, straightforward, just fun game.
Hmm. It's funny because once you do those speedrun achievements, this game just becomes so easy.
yeah, it was already easy to begin with, and then yeah. All right, so let's get to the final reviews. So I don't want to get crazy with rating these games and all that stuff. Basically, we're just gonna say, did you enjoy the game, and do you think somebody else would enjoy the game? Would you recommend it? Basically, so. Eric, you want to go first? Did you enjoy it?
Hell yeah, I enjoyed this game. It's so good, man. It's such a sleeper game. It just seems like a game that nobody ever talks about, but it's so enjoyable. I don't know if that's just nostalgia maybe kick in a little bit, but it's definitely a good game. I would definitely recommend it anybody to play this.
All right, Ryan.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, I think I played it a couple times when I was younger, but I didn't play this game a lot. So for me, it's not nostalgia, but it's just such a fun game, man. I mean, it's classic Mario, classic Donkey Kong. I mean, you know what you're getting into. You know what it's gonna be like. But like I said, it's just straightforward and it's a fun game.
All right, Jacob.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good game, and I definitely enjoyed it a lot, and I would definitely recommend it. It just takes such a basic idea. The Donkey Kong original arcade game. Just simple. Get up to Donkey Kong, avoid the objects. All that good stuff. But then it adds stuff like a little bit of puzzles, enemies, and all that kind of stuff that really brings it up, so that it feels like an actual game and not just like an arcade cabinet that you're going to be playing like the same few levels again and again just to get the high score.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you guys. I enjoyed this game. I loved it as a kid. It still holds up. The only difference I remember from when I played it when I was younger is that it's easier. But other than that, I still had the insane enjoyment. It's just such a simple game, but it's got that Nintendo charm where it's easy to play, but it's hard to master, and they've always been good at that. But yeah, I would recommend it. I agree. I think it's a slept-on game. It's definitely a hidden gem. If you haven't played it, if you like Mario or Donkey Kong, you should definitely check it out. Yeah, just fun game. All right, seems like we all enjoyed it. We all recommend it, so sweeping thumbs up across the board there. All right, so now we're going to discuss our next game, which is going to be Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And I'd like to do a cool little thing here where, I don't know if this works for an audio podcast, but I'd like to look at the cover art for the game and kind of give our initial first thoughts on what this game is going to be. So, all right, you guys can see the cover art here. What do you think?
Kind of enticing with the lightning and the moon going on in the back there.
Yeah, it's a cool picture, but it doesn't really give much away for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have no idea what this game could
It
be.
just looks like a very basic picture of a castle. That's
Yeah.
literally what it is. That's it.
Yeah, it's very Castlevania. At this point, they're just banking on the name.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, and this late in the Castlevania name, if you don't know it by now, then
Yeah, it was pretty big at this
Yeah.
point.
even the NES box art's pretty dope looking. So
Yeah. Well, that one looks more like a game. This is just kind of a picture.
yeah, it just looks like a grainy picture with text over it.
Yep. That's that PS1 quality right
Yep.
there. All right, and then on the back, let's take a look at the back here. So the back says, "The legacy of evil returns. As a descendant of Dracula, you must end the vampire bloodline. Can you rid the world of this unspeakable terror? Uncover the mystery of Castlevania and challenge an adventure as legendary as its name. Over 140 different enemies, bosses, and ghastly creatures. Awesome magical spells. Transform into a bat, a wolf, or ethereal mist. Hidden weapons, secrets, and characters. The largest Castlevania ever."
Mind-blowing 32-bit
Yeah.
special effects.
This is Konami at their best.
November of '96. Awesome.
Yeah, right. I always like how these things always have like over 100 and something, and then when you actually count the enemies, it's like 50.
Because who
Yeah.
actually does
But they
that?
count like, yeah, it's probably they count like palette swaps and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like, see, it's two different enemies.
Probably.
So I'm gonna count the enemies now when I play through this game.
Yeah, you're gonna lose count.
Oh, man.
Being Castlevania, they might have.
Yeah,
over
they
100.
could. But again, they'll have like 5 different Medusa heads.
Yeah, and those each count separately.
Yeah. All right, so
The
good.
the pictures on this definitely give me more an
Yeah.
idea what's going on
They
with this.
tell the
Yeah.
game a little
so-
better, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And then if you know anything about Castlevania, you're like, oh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
You'll feel familiar back here. Feel like home.
With those
Yeah.
mind-blowing 32-bit
Yeah.
special effects.
I like how it says reach us on the World Wide Web right here. Nobody says that anymore. All right, we got animated violence and animated blood and gore.
Seems like they're probably a little bit more lenient around that time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the blood doesn't look incredible in this game, I would guess.
Yeah.
It's probably like green blood.
Yeah.
I don't know. Are the Castlevania games bloody? I don't remember the NES ones being.
No, I don't either.
I've never played anything past like the one that was on the SNES.
Yeah, that was going to be the next question is what is your prior experience with this game? Do you guys have any experience with this game?
Nope.
No. None.
I've heard
very
this
minimal.
is the best Castlevania from
Yeah.
just everywhere, honestly. But the only Castlevania I've ever played was on the NES. That's the only experience I have with Castlevania.
Yeah, pretty much the same. I know a lot of people were like, "You call yourself a gamer?" But yeah, I mean, I don't have any direct experience with this game, but I know of it. Its name is pretty big. It's definitely one of the one of the classics for sure. So I look forward to playing it next week. I don't know about you guys.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
this has been on my radar to play for quite some
Yeah.
time, so I'm eager to dive into it.
yeah. I'm excited for it, for sure.
Dive into the wall meat. That's a Castlevania thing.
I'm ready for the mind-blowing special effects.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna come back with your mind
Yeah.
blown.
I don't think I can process 32-bit.
Yeah, and the soundtrack that resounds with synthesized and orchestrated music.
Hell yeah.
Jacob, you want to play this? You excited for this?
Yeah, definitely. I've seen some gameplay of this because I watched the Angry Video Game Nerd episode
Yeah.
on this, and it actually does look like a pretty cool game, but I just never really got around to it.
Yeah, same.
Now's the time.
Yep. All right, you guys got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
Think we're
Yeah,
good,
I think
right?
that's about
We
it.
covered everything we got.
All right. Well, that's the end of this episode. We look forward to seeing you for the next one. Go ahead and get yourself a copy of Castlevania and join us for the next one. Peace.
Yeah.
See ya.
Peace.